Hey guys, welcome to Into Fly Fishing. My name is Pierre and today I'm just going to show you how to dub a fly, the technique of dubbing. So right here in the vise I've got a gold ribbed here that I'm busy preparing or tying, and at this stage I have a hook which is a moosh 8422 size 10, the 3.5mm golden bead, just a normal countersunk bead. I've got that in the vise. I've tied in a little bit of mallard flank. I've got my white 50 denier Semperfly thread, and I've already tied in a little bit of crystal flash for the ribbing. So all that we need to do now is to dub the abdomen of the fly. So the material that I'll need to dub is obviously the thread, as I mentioned, and to create a slender dubbing noodle for the fly I'm going to ask the assistance of some dubbing wax. This is Loon Low-Tex wax. This is for smaller flies, nymphs and so forth, or even dry flies. You get this in what they call a high-tex wax, which is meant for large saltwater streamers and stuff like that. So we're using this Loon's material that will be applied to the thread itself before we add the dubbing. So for the dubbing of the abdomen, we are going to use a great gold ribbed hare's color, which is this tan color right here, the bottom. That'll be the abdomen. This is by a company called Hemingway's. This is their Hare's Dubbing Plus UV. So it's synthetic fibers with some UV fibers, and then it's rounded off with natural hare's mask fibers, or hare's fibers. So without further ado, let's start dubbing the fly. So I'll pull the bobbin up towards me and pull out a generous amount of thread. This will give me enough space to work and also prevent me from getting stuck anywhere. That's why I pull up the bobbin. So I'll add some dubbing wax, just like that. And you'll see some of it makes a little clump here and there, but that's fine. You'll see that I covered that. Let the bobbin hang. And now I'll take some of my dubbing material and push it out of the dispenser and just pull out a little clump like so. We can always add some later. So then I place it against the thread as close to the hook as possible, and I just position it. I haven't started spinning it yet. So now with my thumb and my fourth finger, I'll start twisting it around the thread. Like so. So once that is done, I bring back the bobbin slightly and I start wrapping around the body. After the first 1 or 2 wraps, I turn the dubbing again. So I go forward, alright, like that. What the dubbing wax does, it helps that the dubbing material itself sticks to the thread. If you don't have dubbing wax, that's fine. For years I only used to wet my fingers slightly till I've started tying with dubbing wax, but if you don't have that, that's fine. Actually, in many cases I prefer not using dubbing wax, as that enables you to tie flies that are much buggier. So if you have a look at our video on how to tie caddis emerger, there I wanted a very buggy look, and with that I didn't use any dubbing wax. So as we go forward, we want to create a slight taper to the fly, and we can just keep on adding dubbing. You don't have to form a dubbing loop that will take you throughout the whole fly. Here I'm going to form a slightly thicker dubbing noodle, helping us to build a little bit of taper. Not that much, a little bit. You'll see that I went all the way forward there, leaving a slight gap for the thorax on this fly. So that's how you do the dubbing. I'm going to go and continue with this fly until it's done, or until we need to dab the hare's mask, which also is basically uses the same technique. So let me just quickly continue with the fly. I'm just going to add the ribbing. For the wing case, I'm using Hare's shellback. This is just a clear color, but it creates a nice flashy wing case. It's quite thick, or it's too wide, so I'm just going to cut it slightly narrower to the correct width with my scissors. You don't need a very long stretch, as this is just a wing case. If you're doing an entire shell back of a caddisfly, whatever, you'll need a longer piece. Just going to tie that right in on the top of the hook, like so, and wrap all the way back to the start of the abdomen, like that. And now it's time to do a dubbing noodle for the hare's mask. So for larger flies, I actually prefer using the split thread technique right here. So on smaller flies, I prefer doing I just dub it. So let's do a split thread technique here. The thread is already flattened quite a lot, but if it's not, just unwind it. And then split the thread with your scissors, like so, and get your dubbing wax and apply some dubbing wax right there. Now just place something in between the thread right there. I'm going to use my my whip finishing tool, and then from the hare's mask I'm just going to rip out some fibers to create a nice buggy. So you'll see that this natural material, if you don't use dubbing wax, this is really hard to get it to stick to the thread. Even if you wet your fingers, most of the material gets wasted. So when you use dubbing wax, that is not the case. I'm just going to open again. So, and I'm going to place my material between the thread, like so. Pull out my bobbin and create a 90-degree angle and start spinning. Keep going until you start seeing the thread spin at the top here. Luckily with the Semperfly Nano Silk, it's very strong, so you can really go for it. Right, started spinning some, and then you just press the turns forward and retrieve your bobbin. Then what you do is just create palmer the material forward, almost like a hackle. And that was a dubbing brush by using a split thread technique. And now I just pull out the scudback material, just fold all the fibers downwards, pull over the scudback material, pull it tight, like so. Pull the scudback material up and just cut it off. Color your thread. And with the whip finishing tool, just whip finish the fly. Pull the knot tight and cut off the thread. So now to finish the fly off, I like building a nice wing case with UV resin. So using my solar res, just pop a nice drop on the top there. Quite a big drop, like that. Close your UV resin and take a bodkin and just carefully spread the UV resin slightly through the material, like so, and with a UV torch just cure it. Like so. And that's it guys, a complete gold Roblesia. And I showed you two techniques of how to apply dubbing. First is the standard abdomen dubbing that we covered in the article as well. That's the basic dubbing technique that you need to know or need to learn yourself. And really just take some dubbing. Dubbing lasts very long, and just tie the flies with it and practice as much as you can, and very soon you'll get it right. If you have any questions, please comment down below. We'll be happy to get back to you. Until we see each other again, cheers.